The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run. This is Kamara. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And now, is it 4th down? No, it's 3rd down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, partner, this is where I need the color commentator. I'm not sure what to say about that one.
Yeah, you and me both, my man. Let's just let that one go and move on.
Deal. Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. Now Winston. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and then get on top of you in a heartbeat.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Winston. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Avery Moss in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. It's caught. Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Back to throw. King. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now King. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
55, my God, 55. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, check. Let's go.
Following the interception, Winston to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it'll be 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Three down.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Kill.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. But he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Watch the screen. Check the backer.
Now Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball out of the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Evans. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
First down, Winston. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 21-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Kamara. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
58 for Mike. 58 for Mike.
King on 1st and 10. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 21-0 our score after 1. They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. King. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go. Go.
Back to throw. King. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Winston now to throw on first down. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A first down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Check. Flip it.
Here's Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. That's it.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Let's get it.
The 7-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now Kamara. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shoot.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Go. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Hey, man. Watch the boot. 58, right over there. Yeah.
King now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And from down in Miami, an update. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Watch QB drop.
On 2nd and 15 now. Winston. He finds Howard complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw is Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Strong left, strong left, strong left.
On play action, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 45 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's King, operating from the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the gun, King. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 23-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now King looking to throw on 2nd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line.
Ready. 58, it's Mike. Watch the back. Trump. And 58 is Mike.
King to throw on 2nd down. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running with Kamara. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. King. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Evans. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 14-yard.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll try again with Jones. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
On the counter, here's Kamara. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Jack. SOS.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw. King looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 10 yards, good for his Saints. First down.
First down, New Orleans.
Mike's 50. Mike's 54. It's our field. It's our.
King now throwing on first down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it's going to be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Just like that. Just like that.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for